The only thing that is diminishing our satisfaction day by day is making us less satisfied about everything in life, from finances to businesses to relationships to purpose in life. That's one single thing that is making us less satisfied is overindulgence. Because our brain has not been used to the amount of stimulus that we're giving it today. You know how we would usually live as primal humans. We would have to go out there, hunt for food, get food to eat, feel satisfied, have children, work on a craft, and then we'll fulfill our purpose in life with little to no stimulation. The only thing that makes us happy then is when we spend time with loved ones, when we're with our family or our tribe. That's all. We are fulfilled, we're satisfied in life. But now, you have social media. You are seeking validation all day on social media. When you post, you're expecting someone likes or comments on your post. You are using dating apps. You wish that somebody likes you on the app. You wish that somebody tries to talk to you on the dating app. And failure to get that attention, you feel less satisfied in life. Now we have fast food that even when we're not hungry, when we don't feel like eating, but with the fact that we are feeling a little bit down, bored, or depressed, we feel sugary food, junk food is the way to feel better. We have alcohol. When we are passing through difficulties or challenges in life, we feel that the alcohol or the beer or whatever drink we are taking will make us feel a little bit high, and then we forget our sorrows. We have substances, drugs, and all of that. We feel these things will make us feel elevated, and then we can forget our problems for a little amount of time, only for the problems and challenges to come back when we come back to our normal self. We have video games where we feel we need to build our status, we need to build our experience, and feel like we are doing well in life. We have music, we have movies, we have all sorts of content and entertainment that we feel we need to expose ourselves to feel better, to feel elevated, to feel satisfied in life. And this is the main reason we are never ever satisfied. Because these forms of stimulation coming from entertainment, coming from video games, coming from junk food, coming from music and all of that, these forms of entertainment do not leave us satisfied. We're always seeking for more and more. Have you ever scrolled on social media for like 4 hours and then you feel satisfied? No. You always want to scroll for 5 minutes more until you realize that you've scrolled for the whole day without doing anything purposeful in life. These forms of stimulation and entertainment is the reason that we are not ever, ever satisfied in life. Because I bet you, when you're feeling bored, when you're feeling down, or maybe you don't have anything to do, and you feel the only thing you can do to feel better is to scroll on social media, I bet you will never ever feel satisfied. You want to scroll for more and more. You just want to keep scrolling for the whole day because there is dopamine, which actually is a feeling, gives you a feeling of motivation to do that thing. And then when you keep releasing dopamine every few seconds, like you see something interesting, you see something fun, you see something entertaining on social media, you have a short burst of dopamine. Dopamine secretes more. And then you seek for more of it. You get more dopamine, you seek for more. You get more dopamine, you seek for more. So your baseline continues to shift higher and higher, where little normal boring things, so-called boring things in life, like spending time with your loved ones, eating a wholesome meal, preparing meals, going out there, taking a walk, reading, journaling, doing slow things that brings fulfillment. These things are no longer fun to you. These things feels boring. These things feel less satisfying. These things do not bring satisfaction to you. You can't study for your exams. You can't even read a book. You can't read one page of a book. You can't have meaningful conversation with your loved ones. You can't sit around with your friends and have meaningful chit chats. It feels boring. It feels kind of slow and unfulfilling. When you're sitting with your friends, you can't just be present there with them without picking up your phone and checking for messages, without picking up your phone and see what's going on social media. Because this wholesome meaningful real life activities are now less satisfying to you. And this is as a result of you overexposing yourself to constant instant stimulation. Of course, you use social media. You want to you want to be in, let me say, you want to be up to date. You want to be informed about what's going on around you. Of course, you use social media because you're not a caveman. You use social media, of course. Of course, you go online and check for things. But then you are not meant to overstimulate yourself with these things. Check intentionally. Go online, look for what you want to look for on social media, search for information, and that's it. Leave social media alone. Go about your day without stimulation. Of course, you want to see one or two movies, but this should not be what you do all day. Of course, you listen to music, but what kind of music do you listen to? Of course, you eat. Of course, you spend time with loved ones. Of course, you go for social gatherings. One or two times, you take drinks. Sometimes you take alcohol. Maybe when you're with your friends, when you're gathering, when you're having events or social functions. But you're not using this thing as an escape. You're just using it as a social thing. You're with your friends. Of course, every now and then, you take alcohol. If you are the type that drinks, of course, every now and then you spend time with loved ones, you drink. But when you are drinking with your friend, it's not that you are using it to blind yourself or to mask reality or to distract yourself from reality. It's more like a gathering and it's more like a social event. It's more like you're spending time with your friends, your loved ones, and your tribe. So it's more meaningful than when you're drinking alone to stupor. And then you are trying to mask your real feelings. You are trying to distract yourself from your real occurrences. Right? The reason we see that we are no longer satisfied with things that are going on around us, we are no longer satisfied with life, little meaningful things do not satisfy us any longer. It's because we have already wired our brain to feel that we need to always be stimulated. We have told ourselves that, okay, stimulation is the way of life. We just have to keep stimulating ourselves by scrolling all day. The day you don't scroll, you feel like something is missing in your life. You feel like, I have not scrolled today. Not that you are telling yourself intentionally that, oh, I have not scrolled today. But your brain will tell you that you've not actually scrolled today. You've not gone on the social media to scroll mindlessly. Like it's a normal thing that you have to do every day. This is because you derive more satisfaction from scrolling. You derive more satisfaction from junk food. You derive more satisfaction from video games. That you can't seem to go about your day without doing all these things. Which, of course, in the real life, we are not even meant to use all these forms of stimulation. And even if we are to use them, we have to use them to the barest minimum. To the extent that they don't even mean anything to us. We just do it out of maybe, we just feel like, not that it becomes a very important part of our life. But nowadays, if video game is not an important part of your life, junk food is an important part of your life. If not junk food, scrolling is a very important part of your life. If not scrolling, loud fast music is a very important part of your life. If not music, movies is a very important part of your life. That if you do not indulge, it feels like you are missing out. Your brain senses danger that, oh, I've not scrolled today. It didn't tell you that you've not scrolled today, like intentionally, but subconsciously, it tells you that you've not scrolled today. And immediately, within the snap of a finger, you pick up your phone and start scrolling. Like if you do not scroll, something dangerous is going to happen to you. The reason why if you sit by yourself with nothing to do, you feel bored, you feel restless, you feel anxious. You feel like, oh, something is missing, something catastrophic is about to happen. This is because your brain has been wired to tell you that you always have to keep entertained. You always have to keep being entertained. And when you choose not to, like, you don't choose to scroll, to pick up your phone and scroll. You choose not to eat junk food. You choose not to listen to music. You choose not to watch movies. You choose not to do anything entertaining or stimulating at all. You just choose to be by yourself. You feel restless. You feel like something is missing. You feel like something dangerous is about to happen. You feel anxious. This is because your brain is in survival mode. Your nervous system is dysregulated. And it's telling you that you always have to be stimulated. You always have to be entertained. Entertainment was never part of our biological design. But as more technological advancement is taking place, they keep introducing more and more forms of stimulation from movies, from TVs, from content, from scrolling, from music to junk food to video games and all of that. And these things has a way of stimulating us to the extent that we produce so much dopamine. Our dopamine spikes when we are anticipating these things because your brain senses that, okay, this thing feels good. Let's do more and more of it. Let's do more and more of it because our brain loves comfort, it loves enjoyment, it loves entertainment. We have the limbic part of our brain, which is like how our brain actually evolved. And we have the conscious or the part of the prefrontal cortex that is meant for logical functions and is meant for taking or making decisions. The problem now is that the limbic part of our brain is more developed because, of course, it's what actually evolved first. Limbic part of our brain or the monkey brain is what evolved first. That is the brain part that is responsible for comfort, it's responsible for enjoyment, it's responsible for pleasure, it's responsible for entertainment and stimulation. So since it evolves first, it is the priority for us. That is why when we want to go to the gym, we feel like the gym is difficult. We feel like it takes a lot of our energy. And so for us to conserve energy, we choose to stay on the couch and eat popcorn and watch Netflix because the limbic part of our brain is more developed than the prefrontal cortex. That was how we evolved. And your own responsibility is to make your prefrontal cortex function more than the limbic part of our brain. Because left to me and you, we'll sleep in the couch all day. Left to me and you, we'll scroll all day like a robot. Of course, we don't want to go to the gym. We want to scroll all day. Of course, we don't want to read. We want to scroll and watch content. Of course, we don't want to eat healthy food that doesn't taste pleasure or that doesn't taste pleasant. Of course, we want to eat sugary and sweet foods and junk food all day because it's more palatable. Of course, we don't want to go out there and talk to people. We just want to chit-chat on social media. We just want to watch content all day because our limbic part of the brain loves comfort and is the one that evolved first. So definitely we'll choose comfort over discomfort. So it's left to you to now enjoy doing difficult things. It's left to you to say, no, I don't want to sit on the couch all day. I want to go to the gym and build an aesthetic physique. I don't want to eat junk food. I want to eat healthy foods that will help me over time. I don't want to scroll on social media all day. I want to read. I don't want to go onto dating apps to chat with the opposite sex. Of course, I want to go out there and approach somebody to build a meaningful relationship and then maybe we can have offsprings and continue the generation. I don't want to play video games and build a status on video game. Of course, I want to level up in real life. That is your own responsibility to tell yourself that you want your prefrontal cortex that's ready for logic and taking decisions, rather than the limbic part of your brain, the monkey part of your brain, the amygdala that is responsible for comfort, entertainment, and enjoyment. So what do you choose today? Do you choose to use your prefrontal cortex more, or you choose to use the limbic part of your brain that evolved for just entertainment, enjoyment, and constant stimulation? Mind you, you are feeling less satisfied today, not because life is more difficult or life is becoming boring, but because you are always seeking stimulation, because you are always constantly stimulated. And you've made the limbic part of your brain, the monkey part of your brain, the amygdala, you've made it develop more and more functional than your prefrontal cortex that is meant for logic and for making or taking decisions. If you watch the video this far, then it means the message resonates with you. Welcome to the tribe.